Okay, today we're installing an HID headlight. It's a 6000K 35 watt high-low beam into a CBR F3. Here's a couple locations that you're going to be pulling the mounts off that hold the body panels on. These are going to be the first ones you take out. That one's going to be hidden. This piece you'll just pop out and slide it towards the back and out. It's going to kind of angle out. It's catching in those tabs on the front. Don't break those off there, be careful. Then you'll take off these bolts that I'm pointing to, and you'll be close to getting done. You have to take this off to take off the longer portion that goes out underneath the seat, because there is a couple spots that hold the front fairing on that are underneath there. There's rubber plugs that just pop that out. Be careful not to break the one in the front. It's easy to snap it off. There's the rubber plugs I'm talking about. It's just going to be held in there, just pushed in. And then in the back portion I'm going to show you here, there's a pin right there. See it? Don't break it. And then right here and just behind it, you've got to push it down and kind of pop it out. Be careful not to break it. The plastic can be pretty fragile. And then just pull it out as one unit. This is the other side. Just do it the same way. And we're doing this so that we can pull off the seat. There's two bolts that hold the seat on, and we need to get it off so we can get to the battery so you can run power to your new HID headlight. There's the plugs. Just showing them again. Just pointing them out on this side. Again, just be careful when you're pulling those out. And it's the same thing on the back here. It's got a pin. And these little snaps here, just kind of push it down and you kind of pull it the bottom towards you as you rotate it out, as you undo it from the rubber plugs. Here's the seat bolts. It's going to have one on each side. Pretty simple. Just take each of them out, and then you'll be able to remove the seat. Okay, now we've removed the seat, and these are the two bolts that hold on the battery cover. Just take those two bolts off, pull the cover off. That fastener and the one above it, those are the only two that are left keeping that front piece on. When you undo those, that portion is going to come off. It's going to make it real easy to hide the wiring. There are also two fasteners right behind the front tire. Don't forget to take those out. This is the rubber donut we're pulling out. We've already unplugged the headlight. This rubber donut you pull out, this is what waterproofs it. It's got a tab on the bottom. It's easy to reach underneath and just pull it out. This is the orientation of the bulb. The metal shield is just going to go on the bottom. It's going to just slide directly in there. Just don't touch the bulb. The oils on your skin will blow it. Just be careful putting it in. It's a fragile piece. This is it already installed. I've moved the clip back in there and latched it. Had a heck of a time doing that. Don't forget to take that rubber donut that we took off in the beginning and put these three wires through it so that you can latch it back on. Those are the three wires that we're going to connect to the wiring harness here in a second. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, this is our wiring harness. The red wire is going to be your power. I'm going to end up cutting this to lengthen it so I could get the fuse right there underneath the rear seat too. That's going to plug into the harness that used to plug directly into the headlight, the old style. Okay, this plug is going to be one of the plugs that goes to the headlight. You can't put them in wrong, they only go in one direction. This is going to go to the box itself, and this is the ground wire. Here's the box that I'm talking about here. Those two little boxes we're going to end up pushing underneath the front fairing. There's actually quite a bit of room on the F3 to do that too. Those are the other two plugs that are going to plug into the headlight. That's what's going to connect it to the main harness. You've got a lot of wiring here because this is not a motorcycle specific kit. This is from ddmtuning.com. Just connect that in there, and what I'm going to end up doing here is the extra wire, which on a car would have run to the other side. I just zip tie that up to get it out of the way, and then I'll deal with it here in a little bit. You've actually got some nice locations where you can hide it on the H3. That little box that those wires go in, I actually hid that underneath the plastic too, so you can't see it. This wire I'm going to just wrap up, zip tie, get it out of the way. Here I'm soldering on another length of wire I believe this wire was probably about 18 inches long. That's all I really needed to go the rest of the distance here. Here's the 3 wires connected to the headlight bulb. Don't forget to push that hose back into that T once you've connected those. This box that will be pushed underneath the fairing right there, that's going to be the ground. We're going to run it to a radiator support that I'll show you here in a second. That little box is also going to be stuffed up underneath that plastic, just basically on top of the radiator hose. And that's the positive wire. I'll show you where I'm going to run it here. You can see how stock it's not going to reach it. That's the ground. I've already unscrewed the 8mm bolt out of there. This is what it'll look like when you're done. I'll show you here. See the wire coming out of the top. There's a good ground. These wires, it's all stuffed up underneath here. There's quite a bit of room. I actually don't even have it zip tied to anything because it's not banging off anything. Then those wires run down. Those clips right there are really nice on the F3. You don't need to zip tie it. I actually cut the zip tie and just use that. You can see where I soldered that on there. I'm going to run it underneath the frame, underneath the plastics. It's all hidden, and into the box. Now it's easier to change that fuse out if he has a problem sometime. This is the plastic. I've already installed it, but I'm just showing you here how hidden everything really is underneath there. I mean, you can't see it at all. And the wires up underneath there, I've actually zip tied them to the metal frame just to keep them up out of the way, try to keep them out of the rain, you know, any type of water vapor. Now you're done. Just run that power wire, check everything out, put everything back together the way you had it, make sure no wires are pinched, and you've got an HID installed on your F3. Really updates the look.